Some people rather stay in a victim mindset. Some people want to go through their whole entire life viewing themselves as the victim because they rather receive pity from people and pity from themselves because that's easier than taking control of your life and realizing that you are the common denominator. Hey guys, welcome back to the vveydaa Mindset podcast. So as you can see, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, I do have a new setup. I just moved to my new place and my life has been really hectic, which is why I haven't been able to put out an episode as soon as I usually do. So I just moved into my new place. I just started my new job. My life right now has been so busy. Like right now, I'm filming this at almost 1 a.m. because this is the only time I have now to start filming episodes. I need to make my plan like a bit better throughout the week. I need to start scheduling because ever since I started my new job, that has taken up a big chunk of my time. But yeah, even though it's almost 1 a.m., I decided to just make this episode right now because it was either now or tomorrow, and I have a lot of things to catch up on with tomorrow. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it right now. So for this episode, I'm gonna get straight to the point because I need to get to bed soon because it's getting super late. So for some of you, this episode is gonna be a really hard pill to swallow. So I'm just letting you know that right now. So mentally prepare yourself. I need you to realize that you are the common denominator. Every circumstance that unfolds in your life, where you are right now in your life, it is because of you. You are the common denominator upon the outcomes that unfold in your life. The life you have right now, who you are today, is based upon the choices you have made thus far. I need you to start examining your life based upon the choices you have made or the choices you have not made. Because when you start to view your life this way, it begins to hold you responsible for where you are in life right now. Now, this means that if you are not content with your life right now, if you are not content with who you are right now, that can change, and it changes based upon the choices you begin to make. And I want to stress this, that you are the common denominator. You make the choices on how your life ends up, because this is the preface of getting out of victim mindset. This episode is going to be about getting you the fuck out of this victim mentality. When you live in a victim mindset, you constantly are assuming that life is just happening to you, that you are just constantly reacting to the struggles life throws your way. You fail to understand that you are ultimately the one that's dictating how circumstances unfold in your life. You take all of the blame off of yourself and place it upon everyone and everything outside of you. You refuse to take accountability for the part you've played in getting you to this point in your life. I myself did this for so many years. When I was just unaware that I actually am in control of my life and my fate, I constantly just went through life's motions, constantly reacting, constantly blaming the world, constantly allowing myself to stay in toxic cycles, pity myself for the circumstances I got my own self in. I was constantly settling in life. I was selling myself short. I was literally blocking my own potential because of the choices I was making. And throughout this whole entire time, I blamed everyone and everything else outside of me for the circumstances I got myself into. I had this mentality of, oh, poor me. Oh, I can't catch a break. Why does life do this to me? And when you always think from that viewpoint, that is what makes you stay in a victim mindset and honestly insufferable. You think the world is against you, but really you're the one that's always been against yourself by settling for less, engaging in toxic behaviors, hanging around people that you know are only dragging you down, continuously making poor choices just because you're addicted to the chaos. So yeah, no, it's not the world's fault. It's not life that's against you. You're against yourself. People who have a victim mindset base their emotions on everything outside of them. Their emotions is contingent upon the external. When an unfortunate circumstance comes up, whenever someone hurts you or someone leaves, or you have, a bad problem on your hands, or something unfortunate happens, you always think, oh, poor me, I can't catch a break, why does the universe hate me? You allow every single external factor outside of you to control your emotions and your thoughts. You let your emotions and your thoughts just start to run you. Living life this way is absolutely draining. When I lived a life like this, when I allowed my thoughts and emotions to constantly run me, when I was constantly reacting, it literally drove my mental to the ground. I had no concept for the fact that I was actually able to control my perceptions, control my thoughts, control my emotions. You need to understand that you have full control over your emotions and how you react to perceived setbacks. How do you actually control how you feel and react to these setbacks or unfortunate circumstances? You learn how to shift your perspective. Most of our suffering does not come from the circumstance, but it comes from our perspective of the circumstance. For example, let's say you get broken up with. You can look at the situation and think, wow, I'm so sad. I miss them so much, and I'm not going to be happy until they come back. That is one way to perceive this situation. Another way you can perceive the situation is, wow, this really hurts. I don't like this. I wish this didn't happen, but I'm going to reflect. I'm going to take some time to myself to realize what went wrong, and I'm going to prove to myself that I actually don't need anyone in my life to be happy. Now you have those two mentalities. Which one are you going to choose? Because most of you guys are continuously hardwiring your mind to choose the first one, to choose the first perception, to choose the most pessimistic perception, to choose the perception that leaves you feeling like the victim and oh, poor me, and life just happens to me and it never gets better. When there's actually a whole nother lens that you can choose to see life through. When you are constantly reacting to the external and having your emotions be based upon what goes on around you, you start to think that your happiness is contingent upon the people that you have in your life, the things you have, or the opportunities that you have, or what's going on around your life. You start to think that you don't have control of your happiness, that your happiness comes up whenever you have what you want. And when you think this way, you give up all your power, because this is not true. You don't need anything outside of you to feel happy or complete. You are choosing to go that route. You are choosing to have that perception. You can choose differently. Basically, what I'm saying is that you are the controller of how you let things affect you. You do not have to constantly let yourself fall victim to unfortunate circumstances. You can take back your power by realizing that you are in full control and you get to perceive things differently. You get to feel different emotions. You get to have a different outcome for yourself. Let me give you a really brief, maybe everyday example of how you let things outside of you dictate how you feel. Let's say you find out someone's talking shit about you. Let's say you find out this person is going around saying they don't like you. Now that you found this out, you're expressing to all of your friends that you're angry and now you feel insecure because you just found out this person is talking about you and they are saying they don't like you. But if you didn't know that this person didn't like you or was saying anything about you, would you still feel angry and insecure? Probably not. Because obviously, if you didn't know, then these emotions wouldn't have risen. So this person not liking you and talking about you is not what's making you angry and insecure. You yourself are making yourself angry and insecure because of the emotions you let rise when you found out. Because of the thoughts that came up when you found out. Because of the meaning you are choosing to place on this person's opinion of you. You have basically chosen to believe that this person's opinion of you matters more than the opinion you have of yourself. I hope that gives you a clear idea of what I'm talking about. You are ultimately the controller of your emotions because of the way you choose to perceive things. Yes, maybe sometimes people do some hurtful things, but you are the ultimate decider of how you choose to perceive that, of how you choose to let it affect you. And like I said, if you are living in a victim mindset, you are constantly letting every single thing outside of you affect how you feel and affect how you think and affect how you perceive everyone. You are constantly giving up your control of your own mind by giving the world and people and everything outside of you the permission to dictate how you feel. At the end of the day, you are always in control of your thoughts and your emotions. You are choosing to be insufferable. You are choosing to be pessimistic. You are choosing to feel insecure. We've been brought up in a society that has basically programmed us to think it's okay to blame the world and say it's the world's fault for where we're at in life and how we feel about ourselves. It's not the world's fault. It's not anybody else's fault but yours. In order to drag yourself away out of having this victim mindset, you need to understand that you are in control. And you need to become committed to viewing the world and yourself differently. The way you've been thinking, feeling, and acting has had you create your current belief system. And if your current belief system is built upon pessimism, victim mindset, insecurity, always thinking out of lack, you have a lot to change. You have a lot to undo in your mind. If you want to get out of this victim mentality, if you want to change your belief system, it's going to take more than just switching from a negative to a positive thought. It's going to take some time, and it's going to take you constantly shifting the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you view the world. You need to become committed to no longer letting yourself take the victim approach. Let me ask you a question. How much more turmoil, how much more pain do you have to endure to realize that you can be in control of your life? To realize that you can take yourself out of these constant toxic cycles? To realize that life doesn't have to keep happening to you? What is it gonna take for you to finally realize you can take control of your life and make different choices to turn things around? Seriously, what's it gonna take? Honestly, you can answer that question in your head. For me, it took me hitting rock bottom. I had to hit rock bottom and genuinely question reality and question why the fuck I just felt like stuck in life, why I felt like bad things kept happening to me, why I just constantly felt like life was unfair. I questioned everything. I had to hit rock bottom and hate my life and honestly hate myself to realize that I've been in control the whole entire time, that I have played a part in my own suffering by the way I was choosing to think and act. So maybe for some of you guys, you have to hit rock bottom. And honestly, no shame. I respect that. I had to too. If hitting rock bottom is what it takes for you to realize that you can step out of your victim mentality, then so be it. Because there are some people in this world that go on through their whole entire life living in a victim mindset. Some people rather stay in a victim mindset. Some people want to go through their whole entire life viewing themselves as the victim because they rather receive pity from people and pity from themselves because that's easier than taking control of your life and realizing that you are the common denominator. And that's the fucking truth. It's easier for people to pity themselves, to have people feel bad for them, to constantly blame the world and everything outside of them than it is to realize that it's been your fault all along. You're at where you are in life because of the choices, the feelings, and the thoughts you've chosen to take on. And don't get my words mixed up. I'm not accounting for tragic accidents or things that happen around you that aren't in your control. We aren't in control of things that life throws our way. We are in control of ourselves. Are you gonna allow the tragedies that have unfolded in your life to make you stay insufferable and never make something of yourself? Or are you gonna realize that life is unpredictable? Things will happen. Unfortunate circumstances will come up. Sometimes life seems unfair. but you ultimately control where you end up in life. You ultimately control how you feel. You can control the actions and choices you take on. You have control over you and your mind. You have control over your perception of the world. And that perception that you are taking on is either going to be the thing that runs you to the ground, or it's going to be the very thing that picks you back up and makes you stronger than ever. I hope I've successfully drilled it into your mind that it's in your best interest to step out of the victim mindset, that you are ultimately in control all the time, even if it doesn't seem that way. I hope you understand that you are the only thing that's standing in the way of the life that you truly desire. How are you standing in the way of the life you truly desire? Most people stand in their own way by giving into fear. So many of you guys stay living in this fear mindset, in this lack mindset. One of the main reasons people don't chase their dreams, people settle for less. People stay doing the comfortable thing every single day with zero change or zero challenges in their life is because they're scared. They're scared of discomfort. They're scared of rejection. They're scared of embarrassment. They're scared of not finding better. They're scared of judgment. They're just scared. It's all coming from a fear-based mindset, a fear-based way of living. Most people who live through a fear mindset also take on the lack mindset. Having a lack mindset looks like, oh, this would never work out for me, or oh yeah, I'm just gonna stay in this relationship because I'm scared I won't find any better. Or, yeah, I'm just really not going to chase this big dream I have because what are the odds that it works out for me? There's so many other people doing the same thing. All of these thought patterns are coming from a lack mindset. You are thinking from scarcity. When you are living your life with fear and lack at the forefront of your mind, you literally leave yourself immobilized. You end up creating a life for yourself that honestly sucks, and this life that's just so mundane. All because you are choosing to lead with fear and lack. When you lead with fear and lack, you basically cap your potential. You cap your growth. You need to begin leading your life with a desire to grow. If you want to try something new, go try it. If you want better friends, leave your toxic ones. If you want to pick up a new skill, go learn that new skill. If you want to chase your dreams, you better start finding out today what you need to do to get there. When you start making decisions solely based upon your desire to grow as a person, your life will change rapidly. You need to realize that where you're at in life right now is not just by chance. Where you're at in life is because of the mindset that you have chosen to take on. And if you're taking on a fear-based mindset, if you're leading with fear, that is why you are where you are. Where you are ending up in life is in your hands. It's not just by chance. It's not luck. You're not going to automatically wake up one day and have the life you want and be the person you want to be. You're not going to one day wake up in life with having those amazing friends, an amazing relationship. In order for you to get there, you need to take the steps required to get there. And what are the building blocks for the steps you need to take to get there? The building blocks are getting out of victim mindset, getting out of lack mindset. Stop blaming the world for your own pain and suffering. Take on an abundance mindset. Take on an anything is possible for me mindset. Those are the building blocks required to start taking the steps to get to the life that you want. I want to read you this little sentence from this book. It says, "People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people that get on in this world are the people who get up and look for their circumstances that they want. And if they can't find them, they make them." That is the mindset you need to have. If you can't find a way to get where you want to go, you are going to fucking make a way. One of the things I'm going to urge you to do if you want to step away from victim mentality, if you want to step away from the scarcity, lack, and fear mindset, I'm urging you to get rid of self-defeating talk. We've already established that you are actually in control of your thoughts. Maybe not the constant chatter that goes on, because I know that even if you're not consciously thinking, your mind is always running. So I understand not in that sense, but you control which thoughts you attach yourself to and the thoughts that you give meaning to. Because we all get negative thoughts sometimes, and it's our choice to take it on as truth and let it affect how we behave, or not take it as truth. But I really need you to get away from self-defeating talk. Anything that involves this pessimistic attitude towards yourself and the world. This self-defeating talk that always has you look at circumstances like the glass is half empty, or that things are never gonna get better, and that this is just the way it is for you, and that you just have bad luck, and they'll always have it better than you, and that's just the way things are. I want you to not let that talk consume you anymore. Getting rid of this self-defeating mindset, this self-defeating talk in your mind is going to take some time. This is not just a 1-day thing, a 1-month thing, a 3-month thing. This is a constant, repetitive practice that takes a lot of time. This way of thinking is going to take a lot of time to undo, because how many years has it been where you have talk to yourself poorly, where you have thought from a victim mindset, where you have constantly blamed the world, where you have constantly insulted yourself, where you have constantly lacked belief in yourself? How many years has it been that your mind has been engulfed with that thought pattern? I would guess to say at least 10 years, depending on how old you are. If you are older, maybe 20, maybe even 30. And in order to undo all of that programming, you're going to have to be patient with yourself. You're going to have to realize that it's going to take some time to redo all the programming you've already done to your mind. So I don't want you to automatically beat yourself up if you see that your way of thinking hasn't changed in a month or two, because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to get from a place where you have been living in a victim, fear, scarcity mindset to an abundance, out of victim mentality mindset. This process of removing yourself from victim mentality is gonna take dedication. This process of no longer blaming the world, no longer blaming your external circumstances for where you're at in life, is going to take some dedication and a lot of time. In order to reprogram your mind, you're going to have to start self-reflecting. You're going to have to become extremely self-aware of your thoughts and your actions. You're going to have to become extremely self-aware of your emotions and what is eliciting them to come up. What is going on that is causing you to get triggered? What is going on to cause you to have that thought or to act that certain way? You need to catch on to all these little things in order to start doing things differently, in order to start thinking differently, in order to start feeling differently. You will constantly have to drill it in your mind that you will no longer let the world, people, unfavorable circumstances dictate how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your potential of where you can end up in this life. You will constantly have to remind yourself that you are ultimately in control of how you choose to perceive the world and the circumstances and the people in it. You will have to keep reminding yourself that you are in control of your emotions and how you feel about yourself. You will need to start learning how to take accountability for the part you've played in your own suffering. I just need to make my point clear. If you no longer want to stay in toxic cycles, if you no longer want to feel stuck in life, if you no longer want to feel like you are constantly suffering or that you are constantly never going to make it to your full potential, the first thing you need to do is get yourself out of a victim mindset. That is the only way you are able to finally change your life and turn everything around. That is what I had to do, and now I'm telling you that that's what you need to do. It's in your best interest to finally take accountability for the part you've played on getting yourself to where you're at today. It's hard. It's not easy. It's hard to take a very strong look at yourself, but you need to look at everything about yourself that you've been doing that has been getting you to this point. Stop giving up your power to the world. Stop giving up your power to the circumstances and to the people and all external factors. You are in control. You've always been in control. You just haven't noticed it. If your life right now isn't what you want, if you yourself want to change as a person, you get to. You get to change your entire life. Your life does not have to be you constantly reacting to the struggles life throws your way. You can finally take some fucking control. You take control by realizing that you and your choices and your thoughts and your actions is what results in your outcomes. You are choosing to let that person's words affect you. You are choosing that toxic relationship to stay in your life. You are choosing those friends that do nothing but drag you down. You are choosing to not chase after your dreams. You are choosing to settle. You are choosing to do the same mundane, boring things every day because you are choosing to stay scared. You are choosing everything in your life. The way your life is right now is not by chance. The way your life is right now is not just because you have bad luck or that that's the way things are and the things are just unfair for you. That is not why that's happening in your life. These things are happening in your life because of you. And I need that switch to go off in your mind that's telling you, I think I've been the problem all along. Because this amount of things that are constantly unfolding in my life, these unfavorable circumstances, the way I hate my life, the way I hate myself, the way people keep fucking me over, I think that this might have something to do with me because it can't constantly be by chance. It can't constantly be life's fault or that's just what happens to me. No, fuck that. You have always been in control. As soon as you change yourself, as soon as you change your thoughts, your perceptions, your actions, your emotions, your life will change. When you're living in victim mindset, you think that where you're at in the world is just by chance. Like all of this, your life and the parts of it that you don't like are just by chance. And that's not true. You are choosing all of it. You are constantly choosing to suffer based upon every choice, every action, every thought, and every perception you are choosing to take on. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up here. I know this was a hard pill to swallow, and I need you guys to really take a step back and understand I'm telling you this for your own good. This is not to attack you, this is not to offend you, this is to help you because I need you to get out of basically the life I used to have. I was always blaming everything and everyone outside of me for the suffering I was causing myself. And it was causing me to just go through dark times constantly. And I want you to get out of that. I want you to see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel as long as you choose to see it, as long as you choose to grasp onto that hope. I want you to take your power back. I want you to realize that where you end up in life is solely based on your choices, and that's a good thing because you can make a change. You can get yourself to an amazing point. That's the complete opposite of where you are right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will leave my socials in the description. Go ahead and comment what else you would like me to talk about. If there's any other subjects you want me to have future episodes about, go ahead and follow me on my socials, and I will see you guys in the next episode. I hope you guys have an amazing day.